What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Big, with another episode of A Deeper Dive with Key. And so we just gonna jump right into it. I kind of wanted to reflect on where I'm at today. So, the other night while journaling, I realized that I was no longer racing a ghost. I don't feel the pressure to accomplish more than my parents in my first 50 years of life, nor do I have the desire to beat my mom's womanly accomplishments anymore. So, like, growing up, my mom will always brag about how she waited until she was married to my dad to lose her virginity. She basically always, told me to wait until marriage. And literally, I can remember secretly just, rolling my eyes thinking, if I was as old as my mom was when I got married, I didn't want to wait that long. And it's so funny because, my mom wasn't old. But when you're 13, when you're 12, and you keep hearing, wait until you get married, 30 sounds old. 32, 31 sounds old. At 29, 31 doesn't sound too old. But just in my head at that time, I was just like, nah, I'm good. You get what I'm saying? And so, I wasn't really in a rush to lose it during high school, but I had, I just always had in the back of my mind that I just didn't want to be 30 something. Cause that just seemed like a whole 15, 20 years at, 10, 12. I wasn't really talking about it at 10, but when I'm 13, I'm in high school, that's a whole, 17 years? I was like, I don't know, but damn near 17 years then went by quick, y'all, okay? But had I actually experienced a mutual love interest, I might have been thinking about it in high school. I ain't even gonna hold you because I definitely for a moment thought I was just head over heels for one of my male best friends. So I had two male best friends in high school. One was literally my brother, my big brother. And then the other one, it was friendship. But I really liked him. I liked him. He was just perfect in my eyes. He was just everything that I wanted in a guy. Anyways, move on. Let's move it on. Anyway, when I did finally, do, I was the last of my friends and close acquaintances when I did. And so I was about 22. And that brief exploration was short-lived. And I've been abstinent since. So not after the first time. I tried it a couple more times and I was like, I'm cool. I was probably sexually active all of 2 months. But, I don't regret nothing. It happened the way it was supposed to happen. My life happened the way it was supposed to happen. But, growing up, I always had the desire to fall in love, marry, and have children in my early mid-20s. Both of my parents actually died at the age of 50. So I figured if I married by 25 at the latest, I'd be able to enjoy my family that I created for at least half my life. You know what I'm saying? So speaking of 25, I came across this video on TikTok with this guy discussing a quarter life crisis. 4 years ago, I didn't know what that was that I was experiencing. So let me tell it, at the time, I thought I was having a midlife crisis. And so it felt good and so validating to actually be able to witness someone share that experience and give it more clarity and just I don't know, give it like a definition, because I didn't know what the fuck I was experiencing. At 25, I was like, what the fuck is going on with my life? Like, nothing that I thought, yeah, I was in a house, but I was in, I was like in, I said I wanted to be in a house by 25. I should have been very exact, because I was in a house, but I had a damn roommate. It was like a housing assistance program. Just all around ghetto, y'all. It was all around ghetto. But really at that age, I was just trying to speed up all society's milestones, plus my ginormous dreams according to my timeline and not God's time for my life. I was just trying to, be everything, check off. You know how we got these things that we want to check off in our life. So I had these things that like my parents was able to accomplish. I'm like, okay, like some of the stuff my parents weren't able to accomplish. And so I wanted to accomplish even bigger dreams on behalf of them, because I'm like, okay, I got to do this for me and you. So it was almost kind of like trying to live for other people. But the more I tried to control my fate, the more I was just out here looking fucking insane and out my fucking mind. I remember thinking last year that like maybe everything taking so long made me no longer want it. And also battling a sadness of the possibility of the reality that if when I actually got everything that I've always wanted, that it would feel meaningless. Like that was just like my worst fear. It just really plagued me to be like, okay, what if I finally get the guy that I thought I always wanted and I don't want it. Like, I'm just like, why did I want this? Because it's like those societal pressures, you know what I'm saying? Anyways, fast forward to now, I realized that like I'm okay with my own journey. Me feeling successful is no longer contingent on my ability to reproduce, find the perfect partner, or generate wealth. Like I'm okay with not knowing how my story climaxes or ends. Like I'm okay. And like, not to say that like I don't have goals, dreams, and desires, but I'm okay if none of that shit happens. It's like, it's fun to like think about it and like I know that I'm gonna accomplish some great shit, but I really don't know. Like, what if like all the shit that I got marked off is not the shit that I accomplished, and like I'm actually okay with that. It's like, it's fun to think about all the things that I want to do, but I'm also definitely okay if like none of that shit happens. And like I was telling y'all last episode, I believe that everything that God has instilled in me and everything that I've dreamed of or have visions about, I feel like that shit gonna happen. But also, if it don't, I don't give a fuck. And I'm like so happy because it really used to be playing on my mind, y'all. Like it really used to like fuck with me. And I used to really be battling like, okay, I need to be successful by this age. I need to accomplish this by this age. And like the longer it didn't happen, I was just like, damn, I feel like shit. I feel like a failure. I feel like I'm not doing nothing with my life. But now I'm just like, okay, this is my life. I'm not trying to mimic anybody who is successful story. I'm not trying to mimic my parents' story or their accomplishments. I'm not trying to live in spite of them or accomplish what I wish they could have accomplished. I'm just, following my journey, following my bliss. And so not having like that attachment to accomplishments is very fucking big for me. And so I feel like it's actually impossible not to accomplish anything, in this human experience, because the act of experience in itself is an accomplishment. But it does feel amazing to feel worthy to take up space merely for existing, regardless of outward and external success and my proximity to doing something groundbreaking in this world. Like, to do something remarkable. Like, I don't feel that pressure, because I think because I've lost so much, and because I don't have, like an immediate family, I was like, okay, I either need to create legacy, have the, societal norm of success, the American dream, quote unquote, or I need to like accomplish something big. I need to be this super wealthy person. I need to change the world with all my remarkable ideas. But like, I really don't feel that shit no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really don't. I don't know why I keep saying, you know what I'm saying? I think because, I was talking to my cousin today, and we was joking about her mom, and we was like, you know what I mean? Because my auntie always says, you know what I mean? And it's this podcast I'll be watching, and she literally always says, you know what I mean? And I'll be like, oh my God, how many times is she gonna say it? And I don't know why I'm saying, you know what I'm saying today, but it is like 5:00 in the morning. I've just been journaling and writing and just like in a deep state of like gratitude. And I was like, let me knock out an episode of my podcast and get ahead of the curve. I had already uploaded this week's episode. But by the time y'all hear this one, this will be the following week after. So I was like, let me get two ahead. Let me, get back ahead like I was doing. But anyways, back to like my little revelation. I feel like our society is built on making women believe that their worth is dependent on attracting a spouse, the ability to reproduce, or something substantial. 'Cause like, just look at like how even paying taxes in the United States as a single person is much higher than if you had a spouse. Like, it's literally like you're being punished for being single. Like, we get taxed the most, and then it's like if you have a dependent or if you're married, you get so many tax breaks that you don't get as a single person just existing in this world. And it's like kind of like penalizing you if you're a single human being just out here, doing your thug thizzle, trying to live peacefully, because, some of these relationships is ghetto. I'm not judging y'all, do y'all thing, but like, that's just not my ministry right now. And it took me a while to be like, I feel like I'm successfully single. Like, I feel like I've been single pretty much my whole life. I've never really had a real relationship. But I felt like so much pressure because, growing up, I didn't really have like the, the kiddie love and the young love and the, the high school sweetheart or the college romance type shit. I had crushes. I had a whole bunch of crushes throughout a whole bunch of unrequited feelings for people that did not fuck with me back. And that just felt like a lot of my life, just like even in my friendships I recognize. But I think at the core, the center of that was the unworthiness. Because, yeah, you have an idea that, like, you're worthy, but do you truly feel worthy? Because if you truly felt worthy, you wouldn't hang out with the people that you hang out with. Not saying that I hung out with a whole bunch of bad people, but, like, tolerating people or being around people for the sake of knowing them for a long time. And because you guys have history, or because you guys grew up together and you feel this sense of loyalty to people. But, like, they kind of treat you like shit. They're kind of not always there for you. You're kind of the person always listening to them. But when you're going through something deep, they can't even talk with you. You know what I'm saying? Oh, my God. I promise I'm not about to pick up this habit of the, you know what I'm saying. But, like, I think because I'm in the midst of, like, talking off the dome and also following outline this episode, because last episode was strictly off the dome. So it's like I wrote a whole bunch of notes, and then it's like I'm trying to follow my notes, and then I'm also getting thoughts as well and trying to combine them. So it's like I'm reading some of my notes, and then I'm also like talking off the top of my head. So I'm like, yeah, y'all know what I'm saying? Y'all know what I mean? Da-da-da-da. But I'm not about to make this a habit because I don't even like how that sounds. Know what I'm saying? Know what I mean? No, that's not even my lingo. And I'm not about to adopt the lingo for my family members or random podcasts that I happen to watch from time to time. Because I hate, like, even sometimes when I say like too much, it be getting on my fucking nerves. Like, I don't, and I just said it, I don't like to, like, repeat words repeatedly. Like if I say, I just said it again. If I say like too many times in like a sentence, it's triggering for me. I'm just like, what the fuck? Come on, man. Get it together. Figure out another word. Because like is not the end all be all. But yeah, back to just my whole train of thought. I just feel like it's always been pressure on the happily ever after since like a child. Like, we see all these fairy tale movies as a kid, and we think like we're supposed to have happily ever after. This prince is gonna save us. The dark prince in shining armor, whatever the fuck. But it's been like embedded into the brains and the hearts of young girls since birth with all these Disney fucking movies. That's why, like, I really do want to write. I do want to at least write like one cartoon, to just show a princess in a different light. I don't want her to be a damsel in distress. I don't want her to just be, I don't know. I don't want it to be overly romanticized. I want it to be some real shit, but I want her to find strength and digestible for a kid. But also, I feel like kids are way more intelligent than we give them credit for, because especially I'm just remembering the things that we used to talk about when we were younger. I remember having a debate in the 5th grade. What are we in the 5th grade? We're like, what, 10? I could remember we're like 9, 10, and I was 9 and then I turned 10 in the 5th grade. So we're like 10 years old in the fucking 5th grade. And I remember we were having debates and I felt like I was in college in the 5th grade, because we're talking about like war is wrong, and like we're like breaking it down and we using these big words and stuff. And we like, I don't feel like we should go to war. I just feel like this is a political agenda. And we using all these words in the 5th grade. And I feel like kids are way smarter than we give them credit for, because the conversations that we would even have when I was younger, it was just more intellectually stimulating than adults would think. That we're not just talking about fucking tag at recess. We're not talking about dodgeball at lunch. Like, people are having, it's like real conversations. It's real things going on in the 5th grade. But back to like my whole little thoughts. I also want to touch on is just like biologically born female women. So women who are born biologically female, who are, I guess we can be politically correct. I really don't like the word cisgender, but I'm just going to say it for this episode. But I guess cisgender women who want children, who desire to have children, I feel like it's a pressure on us if we desire to have children and we feel like we either can't or we don't have a spouse. Yeah, we have technology and things like that. But if you're a traditional and you grew up in a traditional household, like, it's a pressure. It's a pressure, and you feel like it's kind of like an attack on your womanhood if you don't have the ability, to produce, the ability to, attract your soulmate. And have a family and things like that. And so I really don't feel the pressure anymore. And I'm just glad, like you really think, like I was talking about this last episode, but I truly am glad that I didn't get all the shit that I thought I wanted when I thought I wanted it. Like I'm just trusting my journey and not trying to live in comparison or race against somebody else's journey, but really trusting my journey and allowing my story to write itself, if that makes sense. Because like, even because I've always been ambitious since a young age, I had this one point in time where I would just read a whole bunch of biographies of rich people, or I would watch for hours like different super successful or super wealthy people. I would watch interviews. I would just watch interviews all day, interviews. And I would just watch them constantly. And in a way, I didn't recognize that, like, I was kind of trying to mirror my life. Or if somebody, it would make me feel better. Like, if I noticed that this person was a billionaire and I was like, oh, okay, well, I'm 27. They were still this at this age. So then I feel better about it. Or, well, this person wasn't there yet. So, like, oh, okay, I'm on the right track. But now I'm kind of releasing that need to compare my timeline to the timeline of other people and really live. And I feel like some fun shit gonna start popping off in this dancery for myself, because, like, come on. If I just relax and release and open myself up, that's when I have the opportunity to really attract some dope shit in my life. So, yeah. I am just grateful for that revelation just while journaling, that, like, I'm not measuring my success as a person in proximity to what I've accomplished. Like, to feel, y'all don't know how, like, good, how much peace it gives me to feel worthy to just exist and take up space just by existing. I think, like, everybody, especially now with, like, social media being a place that, like, how can I say this? Social media is really a place where so many people, like, fame is more accessible. Or at least, I guess we can't even call it fame, because I feel like fame is different now. But popularity is more accessible. Even in regards to, like, getting business opportunities and branding deals and even acting gigs and things like that. How successful you are or popular you are on the internet matters now in this generation of social media. Like, even I was watching an interview the other day. I didn't finish it, but Lisa Ray. I was thinking about Issa Rae and then Lisa Ray. I mixed them up. But Lisa Ray was talking about, I just noticed they low-key have the same name. Anyway, Lisa Ray was talking about how it's so hard to be an actress now. Like, even being a veteran in the game, it's like they would rather pass up on a veteran because somebody is social media famous, quote unquote, social media popular. And then the other girl that was, like, interviewing her and having a conversation with her was like, and most of the time, these people done bought these followers and they got nothing but bots following them. But their social currency is based on how popular they seem on the internet. And it's wild. I even came across, like, a clip of an interview from The Breakfast Club while I was scrolling on TikTok. And this guy was just talking about how, like, the actual, like, the, not talent, but what did he say? Like, the actual, he was saying, like, talent doesn't, it's almost like popularity is trumping talent at this point. But I don't necessarily think that's true. I feel like because so many people are being able to get wealth and establish wealth and money and opportunities because popularity, it'll even the playing field a little bit, but also the people who are very talented, if they really keep on with the talent and hone into their craft, they're going to outshine the mediocrity. Because that's how the person rises above. If it's a whole bunch of people mediocre, that's like what stands you out. So I don't really feel that like because popularity is so easily accessible, it's going to be cool now. But it was a time when like if you were YouTube popping, and we seen like YouTube is kind of like, people are still making their coin on YouTube, but a lot of the OGs ain't even on YouTube no more because the coin ain't the same. And also, it's just like, it's very saturated. It's overly saturated. So people are going back to different socials. And not saying it's not a bag to be made on YouTube, because it is still a bag to be made on YouTube. But you know, a lot of the original content creators that were living the really lavish lifestyles that aren't doing as well anymore because of all the competition, they, you know, they just have been complaining. I know that some of the YouTubers that I had came across, like in the past few years, they would like complain that like the money is not the same. Like they were seeing, because the ad revenue and the partnership plan was so new a few years ago, it was just so much money to be made. And that's kind of like with the streaming thing, like people have to bust open the door and then everybody's just making so much money. And then it evens itself out after a while. Because for a second, like when hip hop first started, when everybody was starting their own record labels and stuff like that, it was so much money to be made. They used to spend millions on music videos. Now they don't spend that no more, but they spend thousands on probably pranks. But now they don't spend that no more. It always changes. Like the world's just going to keep evolving. So I just feel like we shouldn't count out talent and hard work just because it's so easily to be accessible, because the people that are really built for this, they're going to last. A lot of these people that get it overnight and get it so fast, they can't last. The brand deals are getting snatched back to back because they haven't really built a stable and loyal fan base. They just instantly went viral. So I really don't feel like virality. Am I saying it correctly? I feel like virality. But anyway, going viral or being popular is not contingent, like, on, you know, who you can become. I just don't feel that way. But anyways, before we get out of here, I did kind of want to talk about the Chris Brown situation. So it's basically been, I'm only going to touch on this real quick. I ain't going to make this too long about him. But it's a second accuser that came out. And this is my problem. And so with the allegations, it's very difficult in a time of Me Too, because the Selena Powells and the Cat Stacks and the women that lie, they do the movement a disservice. And so at this point, not saying people's stories don't deserve to be heard. At this point, especially if you sue for a monetary gain versus, like if you take somebody to court for monetary gain versus pursuing like a criminal charges and investigation, it just looks kind of tricky. It looks kind of iffy because it's like, I personally, not saying everybody is the same, but I just feel like it just makes you look a certain way because it's like, why are you seeking money? This is something that's traumatic. Like, you should want them to be, convicted to the ends of the law or whatever. But I can't tell nobody how to pursue that. I just feel like it does look a certain way if you're pursuing a lawsuit versus like a monetary lawsuit versus a criminal lawsuit. I don't know. It just looks a little weird. And it's kind of difficult when you have like Selena Powell's and Cass that type women out here lying because like you don't know who to believe. And when y'all wait, it's never too late to tell your story. But I just want women to recognize that the longer you wait, you do a disservice to yourself. I know you have to process. And I hate to say this, but like sometimes when you wait, you might just have to take that healing journey versus doing the public call outs, because at the same time, it's like, how long? I know justice is justice and justice should always be served, but it's like, it's no evidence at this point. So it's really he say, she said after a while. And I just really want to encourage women to stand up when it happens. Go get the rape kit. I know you're scared. I know you're embarrassed. I know you feel shame. I can't imagine what you may be going through. You know what I'm saying? But you have to go get the rape kit. You have to get the evidence because there's too many women out here lying. And so on the other side of that, because these are allegations and we have to say allegedly at this point, if it comes out that you're lying, like you done told that somebody raped, like that's serious. And if you lie about that, and then if it's not true, that's going to hang over somebody's head forever. Like Tupac, he's still great, but like people still remember that he went to jail because he was accused of rape. And it was like statutory or something. And they said he didn't really do it. It was a lot of, things, but like rape is it's not a whisper. Like that's going to linger. And, if it did happen, I hope justice get served. But if it didn't, like, shame on y'all for lying. If it did, I want y'all to get justice. But if it did not, y'all got to stop. And my real advice to men in power and position, get y'all a solid woman that holds you down. Because with the increase of popularity and notoriety by just being famous or popular on social media and in social circles, right now, it's a scary time to be out here just hoeing as a man. It's always been out here because it's like y'all don't care about, soul ties and stuff. We ain't gonna get too deep in that. I know niggas like to fuck. You see what's his name? Tristan Thomas can't keep his peen in his pants. He keeps cheating on that poor girl, Chloe. But that's not my story, because also the same way you get him is the same way you lose him. And if, you got a track record of taking people's man, karma doesn't have a day. So, but poor her. Still, poor her. But yeah, I just really want women to come out, even, talk to a friend, but I really just want women to stop waiting. And not just saying women are the only one who gets sexually assaulted. Anybody who gets sexually assaulted, don't wait. Don't wait. Make that paper trail. Sometimes you got to push past the uncomfortable situation, to get your justice. And I know it takes time, and I know you may be going through a lot of things, but you really got to push past, because it's after a while, it really is he say, she say. And so you can get enough people that hate you. Like, so many people, like, Chris Brown is well loved, but a lot of people hate him. They still calling him a woman beater in the comments. Like, a lot of people literally hate this man. He served his time. Shoot, Rihanna done forgave him. He and Rihanna done got back together. They damn near best friends still. She done moved on. She got her a baby on the way. And, like, people still hate this man. People still in his comments dragging him. He literally had to limit his comments on his Instagram page. I ain't been on there lately because I don't, my Instagrams are deactivated. But so it's like, first it was a whole bunch of women talking about he beat them too. But it was no evidence. With Rihanna, we had clear evidence. But it's like, once you have one little whisper, it's always going to be, it's easy for somebody to say, oh, I went to Chris Brown house and he hit me. It's easy to say that because if you're known for that. And I'm proud of Chris for being quiet, because he been quiet lately. He used to just be spazzing. But I just really need him to stop being a party guy. It's not safe for him. Once you make a big mistake, you gotta move different. You can't have all them gangbangers around you. You can't have all them people that's too mixy. You can't keep having the parties. Like, how long is you gonna ain't you tired? You see it all in your face. You look tired. You don't even look, you don't even look like you used to look. So hopefully, like, if this isn't true, hopefully this teach him, like, stop all the fucking partying, settle down, get you a good girl, stop going with these wannabe Karrueche Rihanna, like, these girls that look like your ex-girlfriend. Like, heal, get you a good girl, settle down, and then have a whole bunch of babies with her. Because, like, these multiple baby mamas, you just putting your thing in everything. And the way you moving out here, it just seemed like you're just heartbroken. And it's just, I don't know, child. I don't know. But, yeah, that's all I can say. If what happened, I hope they get justice. But it just seems very, I don't know. It just seems a little tricky. It just seems a little tricky, in my opinion, not taking up for him. Because I'm definitely not, right is right and wrong is wrong. But literally a few years ago, he beat a case in Paris, and it was a girl that lied on him. So it's like, once one person says it, it's easy for people to start, like, oh, this girl just said it, I'm going to try to get a bag from him real quick. Or people already hate him. People already think he a monster. He done had mental breakdown. He didn't have mental breakdowns publicly. He's seen as a violent bad boy in the thing. And, like, he really been trying to chill, but, like, he ain't chilling good enough. Because all the partying, all the different girls at his place, all the different girls he been messing with, all the different girls he been knocking up. Chris, if I could be your friend, if I could give you advice, you're probably never going to hear this. But Chris, keep your circle tight. don't even be around. Stop partying at these industry parties. It's getting a little thrifty. And it ain't the time to be doing dirt, because y'all dirt. If you are doing dirt, it ain't the time to be doing dirt, because the chickens is coming home to roost. So, I don't know what to believe. It ain't my business. I don't know what happened to all the victims of all these heartthrobs from the early 2010s. If it happened, may you get your justice, and I wish you much healing. If it didn't happen, shame on you, because that's gonna be with these people forever. And I also, speaking of this, women who lied, even though I am a woman, I have boy cousins, I have boy family members. I know how sometimes you don't like this girl no more, you don't want to be with her. We can get women as a people. I personally don't do it, but when I say we, I'm just speaking as women in general. Women can get a little vindictive. They can get a little feisty, after. I've had homeboys where girls will be threatening to kill themselves because he don't want to be with them no more. Like, women can get it can get a little much. And guys can too. Vice versa. I ain't holding nothing against nobody. But women who lie, yeah, it needs to be a law. Women who lie, they need to go to jail, because that's fucked up. Like, it's a permanent, like, how girls, like, if you're considered the hoe or you considered this, it's a permanent, like, scarlet letter on you. Like, it's a permanent scarlet letter on these guys. And then especially, like, if he didn't do it, say if, like, he gets caught up, or, like, his lawyer ends up being bad, like, he has to register on Megan's Law. Like, what if he really didn't do it and he ends up getting convicted? Because, like, something, they can finesse a good finesse. But what if he didn't do it and he has to register? He can't pick up his daughter from school no more. He can't live around schools no more. Like, he has to register every time he moves somewhere. It's a lot that goes into that. And so, people who lie, men, women, people who lie, they need to go to jail. It needs to be a law that, like, if you lie about being raped, if you lie about being assaulted, sexually assaulted, anything, you need to go to jail. And so, I know I mentioned, like, the Selena Powells of the world and the Cat Stacks. And, I ain't even going to put the blame on, like, some of the girls that lie. They just need help, though. They need help, too. They need to go into some programs, too. Because I know, like, Selena Powell, I did a little bit of research. I seen her telling her story. But, shit, you never even know. But I did kind of feel bad for her, because she was saying that, like, she was gang raped for her first time. Like, she was a virgin, and she's gang raped. And then that's when she kind of just start, wilding out, just giving it up anyway. And I guess it made her feel like she was in control. And, like, my heart goes out to those type of people. But also, that girl be lying, too. So it's like, I don't know if I can even believe that story. Because, like, if you lie, people just got to be careful with the lies. Like, don't be lying. Because if you lie once, like, when you tell the truth, can't nobody believe you. Because you lied. Like, you lie once, you can lie all the time. And so, those are my final thoughts. I hope y'all enjoyed this episode. I hope y'all have a great week. I feel good. Like, life is good. Life is boring sometimes, but life is good overall. Yeah, I just thank y'all for listening. Please like, share, subscribe. If leave a comment, tell me how you're liking the show. Tell me if I don't really do too much current events. Especially because I don't have Instagram no more, so I ain't really in the know. Like, I try to, like, Google, different current events and stuff to talk about a little pop culture here and there, but I don't really talk about a lot of current events. But if y'all have some stuff that y'all want me to, get my thoughts on, and y'all think it's a good juicy topic that you would like me to rant on a little bit, like, let me know. Let your homegirl know, and we can talk about it next episode. I hope y'all are feeling it. I really like when I do the episodes with the outline. I just feel like it flows better, and I'm not like thinking too much, because y'all know I be interrupting a thought with a thought with a thought with a thought. So this is good. Have a blessed weekend. I done told y'all that I'm acting like those ladies that after church. Oh, bye now. All right now. All right, but y'all have a good one. Bye.